Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at an awesome custom hammock made right here in the USA with a price tag I think you're going to like. Stick with me, you're watching Living Survival. Alright, so maybe you're new to hammock camping or you just don't want to spend a whole lot of money, but you want a decent system that's not going to sway you away from hammock camping altogether. And believe me, when you buy one of those really cheap hammocks, you go out there, your back gets cold, maybe your suspension system isn't that great, and you end up having an uncomfortable night's sleep and you give up hammock camping altogether. So over the past few years, I've shown you several different hammock systems in all different price ranges, starting with the budget hammock systems, the double hammocks, the ones that stuff into their own stuff sack. Those are decent, but you do have to buy all the options separately. So you have to get a separate bug net, you have to get a separate suspension system. That can get confusing for people, but I've reviewed a few ones that I personally like. And then I've also reviewed higher end systems, custom systems like my Blackbird XLC, which I love from War Bonnet. Real expensive system, that's going to get you up into maybe the $300-ish range with an added tarp. But you know, you have things like a integrated bug net, you can get your choice of whoopies or buckles, but maybe that's too expensive for someone, like I said, that's just starting out or doesn't have the money to spend on that expensive of a system. I've shown a few all-in-one systems that are easy to hang. Those are great as well, but today I'm going to show you a custom made in the USA hammock from Simply Light Designs that I think is a ton of value for what you're getting and some of the lowest prices I've seen on this level of craftsmanship and materials. So today we're going to take a look at the Trail Layer Hammock from Simply Light Designs. Now if that name sounds familiar to you and you've watched my videos for a while now, you'll know that I previously reviewed the tarp there in the center there, ASIM tarp, which is a fantastic tarp coming in at $59, which is pretty much unheard of for a sill nylon tarp that's super lightweight. It's ASIM cut, so as you're going to see when I get it set up, it covers my head end and my feet end on an asymmetrical layout, so that they're able to cut out fabric and again make it super lightweight. I have it there next to my 32-ounce water bottle for size comparisons, and the weight on the hammock and the tarp together, including the stuff sacks, comes in at 1 pound 12 ounces. Now when I add in the suspension and the stakes and tie out lines, I come up to 2 pounds 10 ounces, but still considered a very, very light shelter system. So this is the Trail Layer from Simply Light Designs, a fantastic hammock for the price. They start at 99 bucks, which is a steal for what you get, and then you can customize it. Mine, with all the features, is roughly around $160. Still a very, very good value for what you're getting. So I'm going to go ahead and walk you through some of those customization options. First up, you're going to want to choose what type of suspension you want. You can have whoopie slings that tie on to these loops on the end here, or you can go with the webbing and cinch buckle system that I prefer. It's simply just nylon webbing that you tie around the tree. It's real tree friendly. There's a loop in the end, you tie it off, and then you run it through the cinch buckle here. Then you just cinch both sides up. It's very easy to adjust on both sides. I always tie an extra loop here on the end just to make sure it's not going to slip on me, but it's a very heavy duty and very nice system. You can save a little bit of weight by going with the whoopie slings, but I just never liked the whoopie slings, so you can select different options there. As far as the material on the hammock, it is this nylon ripstop, very nice material. You can get it in the 1.1, the 1.6, and the 1.9. I went for the 1.9 because this is a single layer hammock, so a little bit more heavy duty for those that weigh, have a little bit of weight to them. If you are, a very heavy person, you're definitely going to want to probably go to a double layer. The double layer has advantages as well. It helps block out some of the wind, it helps block the mosquitoes, and then you can even get the double layer with a cut in one side. So if you use a pad with your hammock system, I use quilts, but if you use a pad, that double layer gives you a spot to slip in that pad, which makes it nice as well. You can see that this has the integrated bug net. There's two different weights of bug nets that you can get. These are, of course, high quality YKK zips, not only on the outside but on the inside as well, which is nice. You can get the double zipper on both sides, which makes it easy. You can position the zipper anywhere along the track, which is nice. I find that really handy when I have to adjust my quilts. I can just pop this open a little bit, reach my hand out, adjust the quilt underneath me if I needed to, and then of course having it on both sides, you can easily do that on both sides. So I like the full zipper option with the double zippers on both sides. It just again allows me to get in either side, get out either side, remove the bug net if I want to, and then also adjust anything or reach down to the ground if I needed to. Another feature here is these pullouts. I got them at the knees and also the shoulders. So if you wanted to pull this out a little bit, give yourself a little bit of room in there from bugs coming right up against the net, you could do so. However, keep in mind, if you're going to use those tie outs, you really have to use shot cord. If you try to tie those out with just regular cordage, when you sit in the hammock, it's going to yank your stakes right out and you run the risk of pulling those tie outs out. So you want to use some shot cord as well to give yourself a little bit of flex when tying these out. I don't really use them. I haven't used them yet, but it's nice to have the option on there should I want to tie a portion of the hammock out. Another option I really recommend is getting the structural ridge line. Not only does it make it so that you can't overstretch the hammock, so you can see here that I have my hammock set up roughly at a 30-degree hang angle, and you can see that there's a little bit of sag there to my ridge line. You don't want that tight. Now when I go and get in the hammock, that's going to tighten up a little bit. You don't want it guitar string tight, but you do want it to be taut. Again, it keeps it so that you don't overstretch the hammock, but also helps for hanging gear. I often hang my headlamp, hang my watch on the ridge line, and then you can also get a little gear loft as well to throw on that ridge line and hang additional items. The hammock also comes with a double-ended stuff sack, which is really nice, so that you can just pull this. You can stuff your buckles into one side, pull this all the way over to the other side, and just stuff your hammock in, keeping it off the ground and keeping it free of moisture, bugs, anything like that. Packs down really nicely. Overall, just really impressed with the construction, the options, and the weight of the Simply Light trail layer. All right, so relaxing in the hammock now. You can see I have plenty of room, very comfy in here. You can see that that ridge line did tighten up quite a bit. Again, it's not guitar string tight, but it is tight. You can hang things off it. I even have this little gear loft here that you can stick stuff in. I could stick my cell phone in there or whatever. Just a basically a little thing of no-seam mesh that allows you to do that. But either way, you can hang things from the ridge line. You can see it's nice and cozy in here. The way that this hammock is cut, it makes it so that your mesh comes down a little bit lower, which is nice. On some of those real budget double hammocks, you know, the fabric goes way up on both sides, and it makes it so that you really can't see out. But you can see I can see out from the side here. I could even lift up a little bit and see out the side there. You know, plenty of room, like I said, to stretch out. There is no calf ridge. What calf ridge is when this center part right here tightens up really tight. It'll poke right into the bottom of your calf there. But none of that happening in this hammock. Very comfortable. I can bend my legs either way. I could side sleep, and then again, nice little spot here to put my feet. And again, I'm laying perfectly flat. I love the fact that the zippers are on both sides, so if I need to adjust something or get something out this side, I can do so. I can reach down and adjust my quilt if it moves in the middle of the night and zip that right back up. Again, it allows me to exit or enter that side, and then I have my other zips right here next to me, and same thing goes for this side. I could reach out there, adjust something if I needed to. Now, you know, the net is right here. If there were bad mosquitoes, you'd hear them buzzing in your ear, and that's what those tie outs are good for on the outside. I could tie this away from me a little bit, and that would help. But otherwise, I don't really see the need to use any of the other tie outs. My feet are well below the mesh on this side, so that's nice. But just a super comfortable hammock. Every time I get in it, it's just, you know, you just go right into relax mode. Again, you can remove the net, you can zip it all the way off, and then it will stuff into a stuff sack, which you can hook to that hook there. What I use the hook there for is to hang my pillow. I have a shot cord on my pillow, and I hook it to that. Anyone that's tried to use a pillow or a stuffed up coat or anything like that as a pillow knows that when you go to sit up in the hammock, it'll fall right behind your shoulders, and you know, then you constantly have to adjust it. So I use a little shot cord on my pillow. It actually came that way from Hammock Gear, and it keeps it right in the right place, so even if I'm moving around, my pillow's not going to sink down below me. So super comfortable, and especially on a day like today when there's no chance of rain, you could simply just not even put up a tarp. I did an overnight down in southern Michigan, and there was no chance of rain. I didn't even put the tarp up. And then of course on my Lake Vesuvius trip, I took this hammock as well and used his ASIM tarp. Was a little bit concerned that it wasn't going to give me enough coverage, but it rained all night and all into the next day, pouring rain, and I did not get a drop of water in the hammock or on my quilts. So you can see here how this hammock is cut, again giving you those lower sides than you would get in a really budget double hammock. You would traditionally have more fabric on both sides here. I like having less fabric. It makes you feel a lot less claustrophobic. Of course, it saves weight and allows you to look out as well. So very, very nice cut on this trail layer hammock. So then for my summer setup, I just take my Simply Light ASIM, $59 tarp. Can't beat it, sil nylon. Comes with the line locks on the ends. So you just throw out 2 stakes, 1 on either side. Again, it's ASIM cut, so it's gonna cover, you rig it so that, you know, your head end has protection and your foot end has protection. And then this side is out, so there's no fabric there. Same with the opposite side on the other end. I tested it out, full rain. If it were, you know, blowing sideways, I would probably get a little bit wet, but just a steady downpour, a really hard downpour, I didn't get wet at all. Nice thing is you have a little bit of room, you know, on your head end side there if you want to reach down. I actually put my chair and a bunch of gear and things like that right here. Didn't get wet at all. So very, very lightweight option, very, very lightweight way to go with not only the trail layer hammock, but the tarp as well. Excellent combo. Again, right around $200 you can get this whole setup. Fantastic, fantastic setup for that amount of money. So again, a fantastic hammock system, a fantastic custom hammock system that you can get made up any way you want, starting at $99, whether you want a one-sided zip, two-sided zip, 2 zips, so you can get in and out on either side, which I like. Not only can I get in on either side, but I can also adjust my underquilt that way by just slipping my hand out either side. I like that it retracts all the way back. You can get your choice of fabrics, whether you go with the 1.1, the 1.6, the 1.9 ripstop fabric. You can get two different thicknesses of the no-seam netting, whether you go with a 0.7 ounce or a 0.9 ounce. And again, very lightweight system, YKK zippers, very high quality fabrics. Again, you can get several different color options as well. You can also choose overall lengths, I believe from 9 to 12 feet. Mine's an 11-foot hammock. I like that length for me. You can also choose whether you want a single layer or a double layer. Mine's a single layer 1.9. If you're a little bit heavier weight person, then you may want to go with the double layer. The double layer also protects you a little bit better from the wind, a little bit better from mosquitoes. I use an underquilt, so that's not really an issue with me. You can also get one side of the double layer, if you choose to go that route, opened up so that if you use a pad, you can slip it in there. That makes it so it doesn't slip around. So then you add to that his $59 ASIM tarp, which is what I rock in the summertime. It's a very lightweight tarp, and it gives me plenty of coverage. It's just a no-brainer. If you want a more full coverage tarp, he offers several different tarps as well. You can find all that on his website. He also offers several different hammock designs as well. Maybe you don't need a bug net or you're looking for something different. So I'm definitely going to leave a link below to his website where you guys can check that out. Again, handmade in the USA, fantastic products, fantastic materials, and a fantastic price. You really just can't go wrong. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today. Please give it a big thumbs up for me. Make sure you leave me a comment with what you think down below in the comment section. Share this video to any friends or family who might be interested on your social media. And as always, if you haven't done so already, click that red subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel for more videos.